Today we're going to be discussing a video about dark humor and what it actually means when it comes to making that type of content.
Dark humor jokes sometimes can be the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I agree. And I think dark humor in a sense can be good when used, you know, in the correct way. We're definitely talking about taboo subjects where people don't necessarily want to touch at all, but it's usually worth exploring and talking about to see maybe why it's such a taboo. Like, I think that's very important when it comes to society, but I feel like people have lost that message and they define dark humor as just being an asshole or thinking you should be allowed to be an asshole and no consequences when it comes to that type of shit.
You're f***ing lying to me if you say you've never laughed at a dark humor joke in your entire life. I don't care if you're the most chronically online, out of reach, canceling Twitter f*** on the planet. You've definitely laughed at something which you probably shouldn't have. And does that make you a bad person? No. I mean, at the end of the day...
No, it just makes you... It makes you annoying when you make it your entire personality. It's like, oh, I love dark humor, bro. You ever see somebody's bio online and it says it's something about how much they love dark humor and shit, or like, be warned, this is a dark humor and edgy space? That shit is so cringe, bro.
It's even worse when it comes down to stand-up comedy shows. The whole point of a stand-up comedian is to...
Oh, no, I have some opinions about this shit.
To make their audience laugh. And a lot of things that comedians joke about are usually things that wouldn't slide in real life, aka dark humor. It's almost like that's the point of a comedy show. Yet people nowadays don't seem to have a single clue about this. Since everyone is literally offended by anything, comedians because of this are now getting canceled and shit.
Okay, so my thing about the whole comedian thing is like, one, if you can't tell a joke, if your only way to be funny is to be super offensive in your jokes, you're not really that funny, for being honest. Some comedians kind of just like ride on that shit. They just coast on it. It's like, hey man, I'm just getting on stage and say the most fucked up shit I can just to try and get some claps and some laughs. Like, that shit's kind of lame to me. And two, when it comes to people being too sensitive thing, I hate when people say that because it's not true. Humans have been sensitive since forever. Just look at the history and the things we've done in general. Like, we've gone to war over the smallest, most petty things because we're so sensitive about it. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to religion, when it comes to, like, you know, your sexual preference, things like that. Humans have been extremely sensitive forever. The only thing is the internet is relatively new, and you've been exposed now to everybody's thoughts and their opinions and things like that. So now everyone's like, oh, the world is so sensitive. No, we've always been this way. It's just now you're being exposed to it firsthand and on a daily basis through your phone, YouTube, whatever it is.
Shit. They gotta tiptoe around a subject in order to keep their career alive. I'm convinced that some of y'all just want comedy shows to be completely useless in the future. The comedian walks on stage, greets everyone and thanks them for coming, stands on the stage for 5 minutes without saying a word, then waves to the crowd and leaves without doing a single thing. Is that what y'all want?
No, I want comedians to be funny and not just rely on being fucking edgelords, bro. That's what I want. It's like, why is that such a hard concept to understand, man?
There's a group of people who are still buying tickets to these shows and dying laughing at these shows and in the audience. You can't tell me all of a sudden that all of these people are just insane and horrible people in society now in our...
But there's also a lot of people that just do it out of spite. Like, they'll see somebody online or whatever, comedian online, being scrutinized, sometimes rightfully so, for like how they're acting or whatever, and they'll just go out of the way. It's like, oh, everyone's doesn't like this comedian, freedom of speech, I'm gonna buy their tickets and shit like that. And also, comedians do that shit on purpose. There's a lot of comedians that really don't give a fuck, but they know that if they say some offensive shit or do some offensive shit, that their ticket sales are gonna go through the roof. And they're just preying on the idiots who like that shit, who don't know better. So I don't know if y'all aware of that shit. It's actually kind of fucking funny.
If you look at a comedy show from like 20 years ago, they were probably making crazy jokes that you couldn't even get close to saying today, or else you get packed and smacked off the internet. But if these companies...
Yeah, that's true. But if you go back and look at a lot of the old comedy shit, how much of it is actually funny though? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of legends who are legends. Absolutely. I'm not taking that away from them. But if you go back and look at some of those old comedy shows, I promise you, you're not going to be fucking laughing like that. That shit was funny at the time, but like, it's just like, and not even in like I don't know, like, I guess, I don't know a better way to say this, but in a PC way. It's just at the time that shit was funny. And now it's like, yo, that shit is played out. We've heard jokes like this before. You know what I mean?
Really cared, then why didn't they do something like 20 years ago when all these comedians were making these jokes?
Because times changed. It's really that simple.
I'll tell you why. And you don't have to be a fucking rocket science to realize why it's like.
Just like times change, people's taste and interest also change. It's not always like an agenda about it. It's just like, that shit's not funny anymore. There's a lot of fucking movies that were considered hilarious back in the day, and you watch them now, it's like, this shit is not getting even a smile out of me.
It just sucks though, especially when somebody's banned online for like some stupid ass reason. An example of a person that this happened to that was a big content creator is named Trey Rags. If you don't know Trey Rags, he got really big on TikTok for his dark humor and jokes. Specifically when he was wearing—
Wait, something happened to this dude? I didn't know anything happened to this dude. I see his videos all the time, like come up on my feed and shit.
This red shirt. If you ever see this man wearing a red shirt in a video, just know you're about to see the most jaw-dropping out-of-pocket video. But at the same time, it was funny. It was a character that was meant to say the most craziest outlandish things. I can guarantee that no one ever watched one of these videos and thought he was dead serious and like this. Yet TikTok banned him off their platform because of his joke.
Oh really? He got banned? You know, it's funny, I never did see him on TikTok. I always saw his videos on like YouTube and Twitter. I didn't know he was like a, you know, like a big deal on TikTok and he got banned. Wow, holy shit.
And
I wonder what video was that actually got him banned, or was it just like a compilation of like him doing shit over time?
I blame the people in cancel culture who actually got offended by his content. Because the only real way someone like Trey Rags—
Also, TikTok is like a cesspool of shit. Like they're inconsistent with, you know, who they keep on the platform, they ban on the platform, what they allow on that platform and shit like that. So honestly, I can't take TikTok serious.
Rags would get banned on TikTok is if a large group of people start to spam report the hell out of his account. Then when the rational people at TikTok HQ get the report, they don't even look into the issue and just give a ban because a lot of people report.
That because that shit is probably automated. That shit is so big and so many people on that platform. If they get mass reported, it's 9 times out of 10 you got banned by a bot. That shit is just automated. I doubt they rarely look at cases.
Luckily, he's been posting on YouTube ever since and doing better than ever. But I just wanted to end it on an actual case which was just plain and stupid. Now let's move on to the bad side of dark humor. Some people will go out and just say the most racist, sexist—
Exactly, bro. I'm glad he put this in the video because some people really don't know what dark humor is. They're just being lame ass edgelords on twitter.com, man. Come on now.
Phobic thing ever and pass it as dark humor. Let me give you an example. If someone just makes a tweet saying I hate black people in an attempt to have dark humor, then that isn't humor, my nigga. You're just saying you hate black people. Punchline. Then these losers decided to make and craft a new cringy ass term: snowflake. Yup.
Snowflake is crazy. It's the craziest fucking term ever, bro, because it's like the people who use that word seriously are often defined by that shit themselves. Like they're some of the most sensitive people ever.
People literally just call anyone a snowflake without any reasoning behind it. Someone could literally post a video of a woman getting shot in the back of the head with a double-barrel shotgun, and you're gonna have that one guy in the comments like, guys, it's not that serious. I mean, just grow a pack of balls. Oh my god, you guys are such snowflakes.
Yeah, a lot of them are just like I said, they're just edgelords. They'll see something online, someone says something stupid or out of pocket, and they're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and like this because that's who I am. I'm so funny. I'm so cool. It's like, bro, oh my god, you're lame and you probably have no friends or anybody who cares about you around you in real life.
I mean, it's just dark humor. Have a little bit of fun in your life. Now you're the one acting like a snowflake, right? Also, these people like to bring up that dark humor and edgy era on the internet. You know, from like 2011 to 2016, when PewDiePie and Leafy is here and pretty much everyone was making dark humor and edgy videos, I guess. But they failed to realize this one thing. Motherfucker, it's not 2016 anymore. Lil bro, you gotta give it up and move on with your life. How are you a—
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said earlier in this video. Times changed, people's changed, interests changed. That's all it is. What you thought was funny back then probably isn't fucking funny now. That's just how it is, man. And it's not because anybody's trying to censor you or blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, that shit is just not funny. It's corny now.
Full-grown adult now and crying about this still. It was 6 years ago! That's more than half a decade ago! It's like that kid who still shows up to their old high school football games. Move on with your life and stop staring at the high school cheerleaders. Also, have some of y'all ever thought that there's a reason why all of these channels were left back in 2016? Because those videos back then, which I hate to say, but a lot of them were cringy as f.
Yeah, they don't age well and people don't know how to like evolve and move on with their fucking life. Like they get stuck in one thing. It's like, this thing is working, I'm gonna keep doing it. It's like, bro, people are eventually going to get tired of it. Things are going to change. You need to evolve with the times and shit.
Leafy is here. I'm honestly sad I ever watched this man's videos when I was younger.
I'm be honest here, I've never seen a video by this dude. I've heard his name before, but this might be the first time I actually see him. I didn't even know what this dude looked like until now. That's crazy.
It's crazy because the YouTubers who even made videos like this at that time look back at them and have said they cringe at the way they acted. They don't even associate with their own.
And it's like, I get it though. Like, yes, it's cringe and all that, but it was a product of the time. This is what people wanted. That's what she was doing. And I think in general, when you go back and look at yourself, it was possible if you're on video or whatever. It's like, man, yeah, I was definitely looking back. Yeah, I was cringe. I was definitely cringe, but that's just a part of being the human experience. It's part of being, a person. Like looking back, you've grown. And if you don't look back and feel weird about yourself, then I would be worried because you probably didn't change or grow at all since then, and now you have an issue.
I applaud Elon Musk for pretty much sinking Twitter into nothing in the span of 1 month. That's true talent right there. Because when this man Elon started resurrecting all the suspended accounts like Andrew...
Shit, this is also what just happened with Twitch not too long ago. The whole like allowing artistic nudity and people taking it way too far and then ruining advertisements. They reversed that shit in fucking 1 day. That was crazy. I think that was the fastest I've ever seen Twitch backpedal on something.
Tate and Donald Trump, and told everyone that they're free to start being comedians again, which was just what these kids who think they're funny with dark humor were looking for.
I bet Elon, when he said that tweet, he's like, yo, I'm about to drop a banger. Comedy is now legal on Twitter. It's like, gross. You know how people always talk about the Call of Duty lobbies, the Call of Duty lobbies? Yo, that shit didn't go nowhere. Like people say like, oh, you want to survive in the Call of Duty lobbies back then. And I would be 100% honest with you. I think it's way worse out here than it was ever in those Call of Duty lobbies. Have you ever been in a league match, bro? Have you ever played a ranked Overwatch game, bro? That shit is still very much alive and well.
Dark humor is okay at the right place, at the right time, and when it's actually used in a correct way.
This is a very much needed video that needed to exist. I agree that there's so many people who always talk about how much they love dark humor, blah, 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 and they don't even really know what it means. They don't know how properly to actually execute it, and they just want to say the most vile scumbag shit ever on the internet and have a way to defend themselves when they know they're just being assholes.